everybody, people. I still haven't figured out what to call everyone. Maybe I got to come up with a name for this show first, but I did come up with a theme. Craig, you're a genius. Thanks. So he came up with a simple idea to make this a show about cooking or food, and I think that's what I'm going to do is food, because then I can travel, I can do food photography, I can do cooking, and that is something that, and then make it less about Parkinson's and more about being a cooking show or a food show. Travel, food show, yeah, that sounds like a lot more fun and something I would definitely watch more than just someone going on about their Parkinson's. But at the same time, it is still going to be about Parkinson's. So I'll just kind of feed that in as we go. So spinach and feta cheese omelets. Let's get to cracking. Here's everything you're going to need. Eggs, spinach, feta cheese, salt, kosher salt in this case, a bowl, small bowl, a skillet, butter, evaporated milk or milk, a spatula. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is turn the heat on we got an omelet pan, and it's not a nonstick, but a nonstick does help make things easier, but really you don't need one if you've got a really good quality pan, and if you preheat your pan so that it doesn't stick. Now these are Teflon pans. So you got to turn, whether you have a nonstick pan or a pan like this Teflon pan, you do need to start the heat first. And that keeps your omelet from sticking. So we're going to turn this on low. I can't get in the drawer without bumping you. Oh. And you can, so about a tablespoon. I'm going to go with 2 tablespoons. Might be a little overboard, but I also don't want my omelet to stick. And I like to get it around on the sides of the pans, but I'm going to let that just melt a little bit because I need to get my eggs going. So I'm going to make a 2-egg omelet. And I've got pretty good control of my hands today, so it's nice because but sometimes if I'm having a hard time controlling my hand and I need to crack an egg, sometimes I'll use both hands so I have a little bit more control. Otherwise, I wouldn't crack the egg or I would smash it to smithereens all over the counter. Yeah, not great. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Well, I'll just show you this way to make a spinach omelet. So then I just put in a pinch of kosher salt. Not overdo it. And then whisking eggs is something so I have a lot of rigidity and stiffness in my hands. My trimmer's not too bad. I get it once in a while. But you just gotta think big. So almost like relaxing into whisking this. Otherwise I would just sort of freeze like this when I'm whisking eggs. So I take a deep breath. I think my hand's pretty good to this morning. Whisk it up like that. Oh, I forgot to open up you can put milk or cream, or in this case I'm going to use a little evaporated milk. I don't know, it just kind of depends. I look for one that doesn't have a lot of crap in it. This has got some weird words in it, so maybe not the best example. But a lot of times Craig and I will waste milk. We don't drink milk. So sometimes I just keep around a little bit of condensed milk to use in place of cream. And that's a trick from my grandma that I learned. Whoops. So just a little dribble. I suppose I'm putting in maybe a tablespoon. Okay, I'm going to mix that up some more. But the milk and cream just kind of helps make it creamier, more tender. So it's not just rubbery eggs with your omelet. I forgot to wash my spinach. Be right back. All right, so sorry I skipped this part with you, but I washed this in a vinegar and water solution, not very much. just to kind of freshen up the lettuce and also make sure there's no ickies, bacteria. Just, you know, it's just good to wash your produce, especially, it's just good to wash your produce. So I have it, and then since I did that, I turned my heat, oh no, I didn't turn my heat back on. So I turned my heat back on the skillet, because I kind of skipped ahead. You can make an omelet where you just put the spinach in fresh, but I prefer to cook the spinach ahead of time. Just kind of, I'll just show you. So you can make it in the same skillet you're going to make your omelet in. So I'm just going to use the butter I put in there to cook the omelets. And if you don't know this already, spinach cooks down to nothing. So this giant plate might not even be enough. So oops. I guess since I'm on camera, I can't throw that piece that just fell on the floor back in, right? And then I put in a little bit of salt here, but just remember I also salted the eggs, so you don't want to go overboard. And we're just going to give this a little wilt. Sometimes it seems like when you put fresh spinach in, it gets kind of watery, which one thing about eggs is you don't want to add wateriness because it's just kind of gross. Craig, I'm totally making up what I'm doing as I go. I don't know how this is going to work out. Okay, and I took the stems off too, some little more left on. Okay, so that's good enough. Just kind of give it a nice little wilt, and it does look like it's going to be enough for 2 omelets. One for me, one for Craig. And the good thing about that is now my pan is definitely heated up and kind of seasoned, and it'll have a nice spinach flavor. I am going to add just another half tablespoon of butter. Make sure I get it up on the sides of the pan. Last time I made omelets, I forgot to do the sides of the pan, and so then it was stuck on the sides. Okay, so we're going to give this a minute. Give another whisk, and we'll put it in. Okay, here's the part where you need some patience. Okay, so now I'm going to just gently, I saw it start kind of getting solidified around the edges. So now I'm just going to gently, I waited a little too long, I was playing around with my camera. But anyway, I'm gently pulling the edges away so that we can get some of this liquid stuff kind of to the sides a little bit. And then I'm going to put in half the spinach that I had. And sometimes I find doing like a center fold to the omelet is I have a little more control especially on days when I'm having some trouble with my hands. And we're going to put the feta cheese in. And then today, we're going to try doing the center fold. Going this way. Rotate my pan around. Not the best. Let's try it. Maybe we're going to do, I reckon it, look, it's sticking on there. Man. Okay, stuck in the middle a little bit, kind of tore, but I think it's going to still be okay. I'm going to give that a little bit more time to set up. So let's try our second omelet. All right, so I put my blind down just a little bit so I don't have quite so much sunlight on here. Okay. So this spot where I've got some egg stuck, it might stick for this second omelet. But we're going to put a little butter in here. Turn it back down to low. Get the butter all around. Oh crap, now my pan's hot and I don't have my eggs cracked. Okay. Cracking some eggs. Okay, so put 2 eggs in, splash of milk, pinch of salt, Whisk. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I'm stiff. Okay, so another trick if you're stiff, flick your hand. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It kind of tricks your brain and make it so you can whisk. And then relax, take a deep breath. Okay, I'm gonna turn my heat back on over here on my pan. Okay. Put my egg in. Okay. So this time you can see just right around the edges there where it's starting to kind of cook a little bit. I like to just push that into the middle just a little bit. And then we hurry up and wait again. All right, so now it's starting to look pretty set. It's still pretty liquidy, but I've found that if I wait too long, then I definitely can't fold my omelet. So we're gonna go ahead and put the spinach in. I think I'm gonna just do a half fold again. I don't know, sometimes it seems like the center fold works better and sometimes it seems like the half fold works better. Okay, feta cheese. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fold it over. Oh shit. Oh crap. It broke again. Probably because because it's sticking right there in the middle. All right, so while that's cooking, I'll probably cook it for another 2 minutes. I'm gonna go get the table set. Okay, that looks pretty well done. And I'm just gonna take my heat off. Get out a plate, and it should slide right off. That's sticking a little bit, so I'm gonna loosen this up a little bit. Slide it onto the plate. Now, one trick that I have is like sometimes it's just doesn't look like it's quite done. So I will just, plus it's been sitting here waiting on the other omelets, so I'm just gonna put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds on high. Be really careful, if you go too high, it's gonna splatter egg all over your microwave, and you really only need about 10 seconds. So, not the prettiest omelet on the planet, but it's sure gonna be good. Okay, video 1 ever making omelets. Bye.